Alright, let's check out some of the incredible city and train themed MOCs that were on display at Brickfair Virginia 2022. I'll do my best to credit the people who built each MOC where I can, but it can be a little bit tough to keep track of every single person because there were just so many builders at a convention of this scale. But I'll do my best. I'll have a few more videos coming out soon that cover some of the other MOCs on display at the convention, so look out for those when they come. But let's get stuck into it. Let's start off strong with one of the largest city collaborative displays here at Brickfair. It's so awesome seeing such a huge city of this scale, which can only really be accomplished with so many builders and having such a large space at a convention like this. I think it's one of the beautiful things to see when you're at a convention, and it's lovely too to see the Avengers Tower in the middle there, just to kind of make it look even more like the movie. It's certainly fun. Love some of these Snot Mills roads here, and some other fun little details. You can see that little Pizza Hut on the side there, and this brick fillet, obviously a nice little pun there. And a surprisingly large amount of that sort of stuff at LEGO conventions. And I know it's always fun to see little plays on words and turning real things into LEGO and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. You can see in some of these buildings that there's a few different lights inside the windows and things, and sometimes when the lights were turned off or when it was a bit darker and stuff, it really was quite impressive. But even now when the lights are on, it's still a very clever idea to do that, and I guess it makes sense. You can have the inside of those skyscrapers be relatively hollow and then just put, like, I don't know, Christmas lights or whatever in there. It's a cool idea. This Mary Poppins house with a little shake to it, that's such a fun slight detail there that really popped and was certainly fun to see. And I mean, just so many different details in this display. It was one that was really fun to come back to and to really just sort of study everything and just kind of be wowed by the scale of it as well. I don't know, it's just really cool. And now over to a sort of graveyard of sorts and a few other different buildings around it here, with plenty of nice little interior details and all sorts of stuff to look at there. Really cool. And then we move over to this awesome city here with all these different kaiju and other sort of monsters battling in it. I don't know, it's so much fun to look at, and two of the really impressive monsters in this build were the sort of burning Godzilla here and this Jaeger mech next to it. Love seeing some of the smoke coming off of Godzilla here, and just the sort of mishmash of the trans orange and the black there with a lot of those cheese slopes giving it this sort of a very effective kind of texture and design there. Looks magnificent. Now, something I really like about this whole display here is, you know, you see a lot of different cities and things, whether that's just out there in the world or on YouTube or at conventions and stuff, but it's such a cool idea to put a bunch of kaiju fighting over the top of it. That really sort of elevates it and makes it all that much cooler. I love this monochrome red train little layout here, really clever and always fun to see people playing with colors and things like that. Onto the other side of the city here, it's got all sorts of different trains out the front here. I always find that fun that at LEGO conventions, there's always a massive following of people who love trains, which is great. I'm certainly not complaining there, but one of those unexpected pleasures, you know? A very popular collab, you can see some of these habitat builds at the front here, and then some other sort of little like mosaics and different things, smaller vignettes and stuff, always very cool to see. Off on the side here, you can see this really cool mosaic using a bunch of these printed or stickered pieces there. Clever idea. And then we can see what appears to be some like compressed air or something for dusting the Lego. It's a unique idea to kind of keep your Lego clean. I like it. Then moving over to a beautiful Lego zoo here. Love seeing some of those flamingo pieces from one of the collectible minifigure series minifigures there. Just, I don't know, just a more unique animal that you don't really see being used a huge amount because it's a little bit more new, so always a pleasure to see. Nice to see a MOC depicting the Lego movie. Surprisingly rare at Lego conventions, which is weird to say, I guess. Onto another city now. We can see here this sort of beautiful drive-in cinema here, which is a more unique thing to build in Lego. You don't see it every day, and when we sort of pan over here, we can see that they've sort of set up like a little iPad of sorts, and they're just playing a movie off of it there. Kind of clever way of doing that, you know, especially if you want to actually have a movie playing. I guess you could build it out of Lego if you really wanted, but that's certainly a bit more fun to actually you know, sit and watch if you really want to. So I believe this was built by iLug New York, with being a New York Lego group, of course. And we can see some very nice buildings here, especially like a little Joker hideout, which we'll get to once we sort of circle around the whole table here. So don't you worry, we're not going to miss that one here. A lot of very nice different buildings here, and a very long train, which appears to have some sort of like plastic dinosaurs inside of it. A bit more unique, not official Lego plastic dinosaurs, but hey, it's something to put inside the train, I suppose. We can even see a monorail. You can see it just sort of curving up at the end there. That is a very expensive rare thing. We can see a really nice little comic shop there too, using some minifigures in the windows there. I love that little detail. Here is the Joker hideout. You can see some beautiful smashed windows and the sign falling apart, and various DC figures fighting and stuff. It's pretty cool. Then onto a graveyard mock. I love the fact they've used some of these autumn leaf colors here. They've been popping up a lot in my pick-a-brick at my Lego store, so always good to put that sort of stuff to use, and I think it fits very nicely in this mock here. Really, really cool to see. A more unique mock as well. A beautiful sort of park of sorts with lots of different flower pieces, which is lovely to see, and Lego spelt on the roof there. Very nice indeed. I really love some of these buildings coming up here. The way that they've built some of these like balconies and different things here using like Harry Potter wands, telescope pieces, and then putting a lot of these leaf pieces over the top, some other pieces that come in pick-a-brick as well. It's gorgeous, especially some of the colors of the brick, purples, dark reds and blues and things like that. I know, it's just something about it that really pops, and it's just packed full of detail. It's really, really nice to see. Then we move over to a beautiful little train station, just using some masonry bricks for the brickwork on there, but hey, it gets the job done. It looks lovely. Then some other beautiful roof techniques there, using some Nexonite shield pieces, and then we can see Groot terrorizing the city here. Hilarious. Love that you see some modular building sets incorporated with some custom stuff as well, so you can recognize some of your favorites, but also see some custom things. Some lights in here on this sort of nightclub of sorts, giving it this sort of party atmosphere. It's a great use of lights to kind of bring it to life in that sense. And then a more sort of historic looking building here. Now this might be a building native to Virginia or other parts of America, but I'm not from the Americas, so I cannot help you with specifics here. Some gorgeous trains, especially with some actual like printed stickers and things on them, which really enhances it, makes it awesome. I love this train station just next to these trains here. We'll get to it in a second here. There we go. The beautiful kind of red, like ornate details on the top. It's almost like Dr. Seussy. I don't know, it's cool. I love some of these beautiful, huge skyscrapers because, again, it's the sort of thing you can only really see at these sorts of conventions unless you really want to invest in a huge amount of pieces to be able to build something like this here. But I mean, some of them are hollow, so I guess, if it's hollow, it makes it a bit more easy to kind of manage and build yourself, but, it's still a little difficulty. But the sheer scale of it is just really impressive, and I love the one here you can kind of just see with, like, the crane, so it's sort of like a construction side of sorts. Very unique and just really cool. Then we move into a sort of amusement park of sorts. I haven't actually seen the loop coaster in person, at least until this moment, so it was good to see it in person at Brickfair. But yeah, it's kind of like a county fair of sorts, so a lot of different attractions and things like that. And I don't know, an amusement park is such a easy, fun thing to build in Lego because there's so many amusement park sets these days, so it's just it's a clever idea. Some other different buildings and things here. I love this kind of Coke advertisement mosaic at the back here, and I believe that's Walgreens as well, is it? I don't know, it's an American brand, I'm confused, but hey, they look very nice there, and it's great to see it incorporated into a city. And then Wayne Manor as well, makes sense that it would be in a Lego city. Well, yeah, this area is one of my favorites. The awesome sort of LA vibes of this with the beautiful typography at the top there, and the lovely curvature to this sort of like hotel of sorts here. Fantastic techniques with this. The staircase there, the nice little pool, there's a lovely atmosphere to this. And even like a little mini golf course here playing with some of those really obscure soccer pieces that are so hard to use. Love the palm tree and the sort of almost like vaporwave style like sunset there. Gorgeous. There's kind of a whole beach that goes with this as well. It was a very fun little display, that's for sure. Nice to see a beach alongside a city as well. It's a good progression between the two there, and great to see them really playing with some unique techniques as well. I mentioned before the Brick Filet, Chick-fil-A, and now we've got some other actual restaurants and franchises and fast food places, all that sort of stuff here recreated in Lego, which is always fun. Nice little police station, and also this road is lovely as well with bricks on the side, snot technique sort of stuff. It's just really sleek and pretty. It's cool. Nice pizzeria, 7-Eleven, and Five Guys, the way to my heart. Love a good shop at Five Guys if only they had it where I live. Another nice little city here with some hustle and bustle, and a nice bridge on the side as well there. Very cool to see. And more sort of like a superhero focused sort of battle scene, but building it around a Lego city, which, is another way of building a Lego city and not just having it be a plain old Lego city, adding some conflict and some fights going on and incorporating some Marvel figures and sets is certainly a more unique way of approaching it. It's pretty cool. Love this kind of Sentinel battle here with different X-Men characters and things, and Sentinels always look cool with their brilliant striking color scheme as well. A recreation of Disneyland, which I actually went to while I was in America, so it was nice to see it and compare the pair in that sense there. Love seeing the actual Disneyland set there for the sort of front of Disneyland, and then going over to Galaxy's Edge on the side there. Certainly a fun mock because you get to play with a lot of different genres there, but it all sort of fits nicely together. Some really wonderful cars here, like this taxi and this police car in front of this lovely diner as well. Really cool to see. Some actual train sets and some custom trains mixed in with all sorts of different things here. Some of those, Simpsons House, the Maersk train as well. Always nice to see some of those rarer sets at conventions. I'm not always a massive fan of seeing sets at conventions personally, but when you see some rarer ones, it's nice. Some firefighting MOCs now. Cool to see some modular buildings on fire and some fire trucks helping put it out. It's a clever idea. I like with this MOC how much they've played with stickers and things. You know, whether that's on like this hospital here or even on some of the trucks on the side here. You know, yeah, official LEGO stickers are always, you know, really helpful to use, and if you've got some, play with them. Lovely Amazon store here. But yeah, if you can get some custom ones and do stuff like Amazon or like Walmart here, which is a sort of recreation of Walmart, which you'll see in a second when we pan to the front there, but lovely to see the interior with a LEGO aisle and all sorts of good stuff there. But yeah, custom stickers can really go a long way to create some unique stuff. It's cool. Then we move over to another interior. This time it's the inside of a house. Could be a good idea to build the interior of your own house, or just, I don't know, I always love building interiors for buildings and things, so nice to see that, and some other robots and things. I love this little kind of monorail here, which is just packed with all sorts of detail there. It's fun, especially combined with those lights as well. It's just a good atmosphere. A sort of typical city with some modular buildings built on a sort of Mills Road system here. Looks quite quaint and nice. I believe a true story of a train that sort of derailed and fell into a river there. Love the sense of action of the wave sort of popping up here. We now move into one of the larger train displays at Brickfair here. And I don't know, there's something that I love about seeing such a huge table just packed full of all sorts of stuff. And the fact that it's all one unified MOC as well, that the train tracks essentially run around the entire table. That in itself is just really cool, because it's one of those childhood dreams of, hey, look, I've got this massive display, isn't it awesome? But the fact that they're able to build off of such a huge space and have such large swaths of landscape, it kind of takes the building to a whole nother level, because yeah, with your sort of, even some of your larger builds that you might build yourself, while that's nice and fun, it's harder to play in such a huge space. So I don't know, there's so many new creative possibilities with MOCs of this scale, which is always exciting. Especially seeing so many trains packed in here. Some of the sticker work with custom stickers and things, and just the realism and the accuracy to actual trains and stuff that's packed in here is just so impressive. I'm not a huge train person myself. I think I've built one train MOC in my life. And a couple sets as well, but I can always appreciate the craftsmanship that goes into these things, and the ways of personalizing them. Even the rainbow one there, it's great. Look at all those tree designs as well. I mean, look at this table. It's so impressive. But yeah, all of these trains are just so cool, and seeing them partnered with such gorgeous landscape is just a nice treat. An even better treat too, a little classic space train cart there of sorts. That's cool. It's nice to see all the different leaf colours that LEGO's made, and how nice it all looks in conjunction there with a little sort of forest of sorts. Always one of my favourite things. I have a nice sort of childhood memory there. We just sort of passed it, but sort of in between some of these tables where you'll see a sort of larger bridge, or even kind of a bridge like that of sorts. Here's the bridge I was referring to. I remember being a kid and kind of going underneath one of those because the guy wanted to show me something behind the table on little details. He was going to open up his MOC or something, and I was going to take some photos at one of my first conventions. So whenever I see a little bridge like that, bridging tables at a convention, it brings me some joy from childhood memories. Love this crazy weird building here going off at different angles. Some more train track and green planes and stuff like that. A lovely little building here with some lovely little roof techniques and some crazy brickwork with those dark red brick pieces, or plates rather, on the bottom there, forming a nice sort of like almost sort of cobblestone effect. Really cool. More trains all in conjunction here. Just, I don't know, it's just nice seeing them all together like this. I don't know if this is all from one builder, all these specific trains. I imagine it's multiple different people, but I'm sure that's a bit of fun too, coming together at a bigger convention like this, and being able to put all your stuff together like that in unison. And I'm sure it brings a smile to your face. It brings a smile to my face, that's for sure. A teal train there. Teal's one of my favourite LEGO colours, so really cool to see so much in a train like that. Very nice indeed. There's a Santa Fe train on the table there. That's a fairly rare LEGO train set as well. But yeah, just exquisite to see. I wish I knew some more train terminology and stuff so I could be saying, you know, all sorts of craziness. But hey, if you're a train fan, I'm sure you're enjoying what you're seeing right now. I'm loving some of these sort of like handrails on the side here, the crazy angles that they're going off at. It's really cool. Love this big old ship here, and a big old like airport and runway. You know, again, something that's a little bit harder to pull off at a larger scale, but easier to do at a larger convention like this. And nice to see some actual official Lego set planes being used here, and seeing some of the angles that they're able to get in some of the lines on the runway there. So let's finish up with this awesome little amusement park here. Some really creative rides and some awesome use of lighting as well. I love how different some of these rides are to some of the official sets. If you're building your own one, it would certainly complement the official sets nicely. And then finishing up with some gorgeous lines and angles on this fantastic nominated train here. Very cool. And some fantastic city and train MOCs all throughout this little tour of Brickfair. Hope you very much enjoyed. See you in the next one.